14-horse field with 3 undefeated fillies. So this is a really competitive Oaks, just like the Derby. Secret Oath is the 6-1 shot. Now, this is the horse that decided to race with the boys at the Arkansas Derby, and things didn't go well.
Yeah, Cyberknife kicked her ass, so that was good. But she could run an 11, but I don't think an 11's going to win. Off of the sheet, she ran 13, 11, 13. You know, she could run the 11, but 11's not going to – not only that, she's going to be an underlay because it's Lucas, and, everyone thinks the filly's so great. She ran against the boys. She's going to get overbet for that reason, and I will not have her on a ticket.
Secret Oath to me is the perfect reason for why you need to buy the sheets. So if you watch Twitter, if you watch the races, everybody anointed her as the queen of the 3-year-old division. And the sheets never bought into it.
No. Well, not the Ragozin Sheets. Other sheets,
correct.
fake sheets, had her as the fastest horse, and they were.
But she's not.
No.
And I think we're going to find out here that she's not. She was not showing much early in the week. She's picked up her gallops the last couple of days. She trains early in the morning under the lights at 5:15. She's one of the first Oaks Derby horses on the track. But at the end of the day, I agree with you, Jonathan. I just don't think she's fast enough.
Yeah.
The 2 Nostalgic is slow. The last 2 races were 15s.
Yeah, she's making a forward move. The only problem is it's not going to be a good enough forward move, so she's out.
She's a horse to me that I think can definitely hit the try. She's coming in under the radar. That race in the Gazelle last time was a sneaky good race. Everyone was disappointed that Vente Valentine wasn't able to get the job done as the big favorite. But Nostalgic ran on and ran forward. And look, the numbers, not the adjusted buyer numbers, but the numbers in the wintertime at Aqueduct have been slow because the track's been so slow. It's been such a tough track to get a read on. But I think I love how she's been training since I've seen her here at Churchill. Bill Mott does a great job. Love Medallia d'Oro mares. Nostalgic at a big price is putting things together at the right time. Not sure if she's good enough to win, but I can definitely see her, picking up a big piece at a big price.
All right, now.
And I don't think she's a lot of late money.
Now, the 3 Hidden Connection at 20-1 starts her career with a 9, which is awesome. Goes a little backwards for a couple of starts. But then, if you take a look at it, the last 3 starts all forward. Ran an 8 last time out and barely lost to the undefeated, Echo Zolo? And, that was a head bob loss. So why wouldn't we want this horse in our exotics?
I love this horse. This is my top pick in the race. I like the 9 that she ran as a 2-year-old first out. I like the fact she came out as a 3-year-old, broke through that number, and now has time off. It's what we call a condition line for old-time sheet players. They know what I'm talking about. And this horse is ready to run a new top. That just shows you how the morning line maker, I don't know what he's thinking about, but Echo Zulu beat this horse by a lip, and he lays this horse at 20-1 and Echo Zulu at 4-1.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. This is my top pick in the race, if you care. Chadwick?
Look, she's been inconsistent. She's shown the capability, like Jonathan said. She's run some very, very brilliantly fast races, and she's been right there. The consistency has been what's lacking for me. She's not the biggest filly in the world, and that's my concern in these races. Look, it's not 20, but it is a full 14-horse field, and she's going to have to work out a good trip with the young jockey Ray Lou Gutierrez. Now he's got a college degree and gym teacher, and that's great. But at the end of the day, I think he's going to have the ride of his life to win this race. Now, he's winning everything. He's an up-and-coming jockey. But he's going, is the moment going to be too big? We're going to find out, because this is his Super Bowl.
If she was 5 or 6-1, I would want no part of her. But if she's really going to be double digits,
she's got to take some money, though. I can't see her being 20-1.
Players are going to play her, for sure.
The 4 is one of the favorites, Nest, at 5-2, a Pletcher, Irene Ortiz combo. Do we see a bounce here, John, coming off a 7 last month? And that was an all-time high of 5, actually, off the 12.
Yeah, I'm playing her to bounce, especially due to the fact that she's the morning line favorite. If she drifts up and goes 5-6-1, or if I'm keying only the 3, I would include this horse somewhere, but I don't expect her to run well. I know she's coming off of a big win last time out. She's 4 for 5 lifetime, but tomorrow is the day to play against her if you're looking at sheets.
This is my only problem with the sheets. And this happens a little bit, and it happened with Biscuits a little bit, where she won so easily that sheet guys say she's due to bounce, but there's a difference between winning and winning under a drive and winning under double wraps.
Yeah.
And she won under complete double wraps. She could not have a better prep race than she had.
Okay.
What was behind her, I don't necessarily know. There were some disappointing stories. You talk about stats. Todd Pletcher, I think 4-time winner of this race. He certainly knows how to win the Kentucky Oaks. And Irad Ortiz aboard Malathot last year. I think Ness can continue to move forward. We're going to disagree on this one because she's trained really well. Irad Ortiz is very, very confident in her. And unless your son is knocking on Irad's door at 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow across the hall from him, I think there's a chance that Ness can win the race.
All right.
All right. Next up is the 5 at 15-1 shot. Goddess of Fire, Velazquez and Pletcher. This horse has improved the last 4 races. And this year, 13, 12, and 10. And those last 3 races were all second-place finishes. What about Goddess of Fire, John?
She's 15-1, so she's okay. She can repeat the 10. The problem I have with this horse is there's no foundation as a 2-year-old. The races as a 2-year-old were all terrible. She came out this year as a 3-year-old, obviously much better than she was, and she's 15-1. So for that reason, I would consider throwing her in.
Goddess of Fire to me is the Pioneer Medina of the Oaks. She's another top Pletcher horse that runs fast numbers. That's never going to win a race. She's a half sister to Mind Control, and I think she's more valuable as a broodmare than she is in the Kentucky Oaks. I do not like her.
Okay.
The 6, You Girl, a 30-1 shot, appears to be pretty slow.
You Gary, not you girl.
Oh.
That's okay.
2 eyes.
I'm correct on English. That's not good. Hello. You're in trouble. Yuguri is the horse.
Owned by Japanese connections.
Yeah.
Anyway, this horse is too slow anyway, correct?
Yeah.
No. Why is she too slow?
Well,
she's got a 12 last time.
She's got a 12
last time. That's not that far behind.
She has a 13 as a 2-year-old. This horse is okay. Friedman actually, I think, liked this horse a little.
She's a horse who
Oh, yeah.
I think that she can make the lead. I don't think there's a lot of speed in this race, other than Echo Zulu. Look, Echo Zulu is obviously the wild card in the race. But, I mean, if Yuguri's sent from there, there's a chance that Yuguri can make the lead and take him as far as she can. Okay. I don't like the fact that following the race, trainer Rudolph Brissett sat there and said, I do not think she can go this far, but the owners want to run. So there's that in the back of your mind. But I do think she'll be part of that early pace presence and will be involved as late as she can.
All right, the 7, Echo Zulu, the 4-1 shot. You got Rosario on board, 4 11s and a 9. This horse has not lost the lead since September of 2021.
5 for 5 lifetime. So keep that in mind. She only held on last time by a nose over Hidden Connection. However, it was her first race as a 3-year-old. Maybe they would, I'm sure the screws weren't tightened as tight as they're going to be, and she'll probably move forward off the 11 tomorrow. 50?
You want to comment off the Echo Zulu?
Steve Asmussen took Midnight Bourbon to the Dubai World Cup. It was a $12 million race. He had some other horses on the card. Jockey Joel Rosario, trainer Steve Asmussen, elected to skip all that money, all that opportunity to stay here. And while Epicenter was the cherry on top of the cake, the entire cake is this filly, Echo Zulu. Steve Asmussen loves this filly. He's always been very, very closely connected with fillies, obviously famously going back to Rachel Alexander and Untappable and some of these other horses that he's really seemed to get to the bottom of. He loves this filly. She wasn't ready to run last time. It took a remarkable performance for her to win going that far off that layoff with that few amount of workouts. And she's not going to wow you with her look. She's not this strong, strapping, brilliant horse. But she's the first Grade 1 winner out of Gunrunner. It means a lot. It's owned by Winchell Thoroughbreds, who obviously own Gunrunner, who own Tappet, who have been with Steve Asmussen for a long, long time and part of many of his wins. He is 0 for his last 72, I think, with starters in Kentucky, which is a crazy stat.
Wow.
But this could be the one that kind of breaks through that glass. I think that Echo Zulu is the nuts. I think it's a joke that she's the third choice. It's
Yeah, how could she be the
disrespectful.
third
It's
choice?
disrespectful that she is not the morning line favorite. She better be the post line favorite. And if she's not, I will hammer her to death because she deserves to be the favorite. She has done nothing wrong. She's on her home track. If this race was a mile and a quarter, maybe I'd have a few more questions. But the mile and 8 distance, I think she can do it. And Joel Rosario is smart enough that if Hugh Gary does try and blitz away from there, I do think that he can rate and sit second, even though she's been in front of all her starts. She's a wonderful, wonderful filly, and I do think that she'll be crowned Kentucky Oaks champion.
Venti Valentine, 20-1 shot. Kathleen O, that's the 8 horse. The horse has improved over 5 races, but very slightly to a couple of 14s this year.
Yeah, it's a New York bred filly from George Abreu. Horse hasn't done anything wrong, but I think she's slow compared to other horses.
She's trained very well since coming over here to Churchill. I like what I've seen from her. I had my doubts if she was going to be ready for a task like this, but she's a horse that's on the – I think she can pick up a piece. I don't know that she can win it, but I do think she can pick up a piece, and Fluffy the Wonder Dog will be watching and rooting hard for Venti Valentine.
Desert Dawn, the 9 horse, 20-1 shot. Coming off a win in the Grade 2 Santa Anita Oaks. That was a 10, best race of her career. So the previous best was a 14, the race that she ran in March. So is this another bounce candidate? But the difference here, though, is we have a 20-1 shot.
Yeah, well, she won a 5-horse field at Santa Anita last time out, and she was all out to do it, but she was a big price.
She beat a nice horse that day.
She did beat a nice horse that day, but that being said, I think she's going to react off the 10 she ran last time.
She might be the first Arizona bred in the race, let alone to win the race. I don't know that I've ever seen another Arizona bred in the Kentucky Oaks.
He had no stats for you.
I don't know if Greg has the stats on that, but look, she was good last time. I give her credit. I used to work with Phil D'Amato a long time ago. Actually, we're in the winner's circle together back in the 2000s with Battle One winning the Churchill Downs handicap, working for Chuck Simon. I'm rooting for Phil D'Amato, hoping he can get a classic to his name. But this one's it's a big ask, I think.
Yeah.
The 10 is Kathleen O, a 7-2 shot, and she's coming off a 7, her best race of her career in that Grade 2 race at Gulfstream Park. I guess the big difference here is you've got Kathleen O, who wants to close, and you have Echo Zulu, who's going to be in the lead. So if you want Kathleen O to win, what do you want as far as the pace for? Do you want some other horse to kind of push Echo Zulu there?
Well, that's going to certainly help Kathleen O if they decide to do that. You know. I mean, the horse ran a 7 last time out, which was a 4-point new top. Again, like Chad says, who knows if that's really a top? She's 4 for 4, and she won so easily last time. You know, but at 7-2, I don't know. She's another horse in the race. I like Echo Zulu better than Kathleen O if I had to choose between both of those.
She's not a pretty workhorse. I'll tell you that. You know, everybody watches these last couple of works. She got outworked badly in her last work. And Shug said that was the best she ever worked. And I found out that he wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. That was the best she ever worked. If you go back and look at her career workout pattern, she doesn't really break 49, 102. She's the difference between, you know, you have those all-stars in the morning time, you're right?
Morning glories.
Morning glories. She's an afternoon glory. She does nothing in the morning time whatsoever, but she showed up every time in the afternoon. And for that reason, you do have to include her in your tickets until she does anything wrong. If you're playing multi-race tickets,
you would always rather be an afternoon glory than a morning glory.
Correct.
So
I think you do have to use her, but I'm not gonna. I think there are other horses that are better than her. But certainly she's done nothing wrong in her career.
The 11 and the 12 are both 30-1 and both appear slow, especially the 12, forget it. But the 11 ran a 13 last time out.
The 11's going to run a new top tomorrow. This is what you call a quarter-point move. She ran a 13 and a quarter first out, and she broke through it in her last race. She's set to run a new top. That being said, if she runs a 10 or an 11, it's probably not going to be good enough. But she is making a forward move, maybe somewhere in the bottom of your tries and supers.
I agree with everything he said.
All right, and then the 13.
13 is Chad's horse from Japan. He's been talking about
Dubai.
Oh, Dubai, excuse me.
Owned by Bahrainians.
Yeah, owned by Bahrainians.
Shahama, Pratt and Pletcher, 15-1.
Pratt, did you arrange this?
No, listen. Well, you talk about trying to ride this horse. So Andre de Vries has been aboard this horse for every one of her starts. He weighs, I think he weighs 130 pounds. He says he doesn't, but he really wanted
He'd
to
only
ride.
be 9 pounds over.
He really wanted to ride this filly, and was crushed that they went with Flavien Prat. But I like the move to Flavien Prat. Look,
But you're getting the Munnings to go a mile and an eighth. Wow.
It's a half sister to Looking Unlucky too.
Oh.
So trying to make up for her brother falling just a little short in the Kentucky Derby several years ago.
Right.
She was an expensive 2-year-old in training purchase. She went over there and she just continued to get better and better. And I understand the field she beat over there were nothing to really be impressed with. The filly that was second in the UAE Oaks, Arabian Gazelles, came back and didn't do anything in the UAE Derby. Not that she was supposed to against the boys. Shahama is a different breed. And the thing about Shahama is, besides her big white face, which is a remarkable face, that she's easy to spot and stuff like that, she's just a lovely filly to be around. She does everything the right way, and she's really, really impressed people in the morning time. She's worked her last 2 works with the other filly in the race for Todd Pletcher, Goddess of Fire, and she's been much the best both times. So if you like Goddess of Fire, you have to like Shahama, because she will finish ahead of Goddess of Fire. I know there's some wise guys out there that like Goddess of Fire more, but I'm a Shahama guy. I'll play Shahama on all my tickets.
Wow.
I think Echo Zulu, to me, she'll be my top selection, but I do have to use Shahama on all of my tickets, and it would not surprise me at all if she's able to get the job done. And the guy who won't get mentioned here, Fozzie Nas, who's the trainer who picked her out and is part of the ownership group of Victorious Racing. I hopefully he'll be here. He's a wonderful guy from Bahrain.
Is this us going back to Dubai after this race, or staying with Pletcher?
It'll all be to be determined. I was trying to get her to train. I called Fozzie after the first race. I knew this was going to be the Derby or the Oaks. She was in my Derby top 10 list for a long time until they decided not to go to the UAE Derby. So look, I think she's a remarkable filly, and I'm looking forward to American racing being introduced to Shahama on Friday, but she's also going to be introduced to Echo Zulu, and that's a lot.
And she's 4 out of 4, so why not?
The sheets don't really tell us much that this horse is going to compete for a win, John.
No, well, for the figure, she's slow, but the Dubai figure, so let's see what happens.
I think the sheets to hire me to do the Dubai sheet numbers.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I like that. I take pride in that. Anyway, go ahead.
Turn Her Loose, the last horse in the field, is a 20-1 shot. It's a Brad Cox trained horse, coming off at 12. That's the top 13 before that. So what about this 20-1 shot, the last horse in the field?
Looks slow to me.
Look slow is slow.
It's slow.
No shot.
Is slow. No shot, Chad says.
No shot.
So 12-13 is no shot. 14-17, I put all my money on the horse.
If anybody wants to know how good of a trainer Brad Cox is, look at this filly physically in person, and then know that he somehow won a grade 2 with her, and he deserves to go right to the Hall of Fame tomorrow. When she crossed the wire first in the Rachel Alexandra, I know you're supposed to be a trainer for 20 years or whatever it is. They should have got the plaque ready for him up in Saratoga Springs, because he needs to go to the Hall of Fame for winning the Rachel Alexandra with Turn Her Loose.
Okay.
All right.
So your pick, Chad, again, you're going with Shada Hada?
Echo Zulu over Shahama.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with the hidden connection, the 20-1 shot, and I'm going to use Echo Zulu, Kathleen O, I guess, and I'll throw in Shahama because of respect.
Oh, you're like Sarah from Twitter. We're going with 4 picks. Let me also why don't I also give me a nostalgic and give me Vente Valentine. Give me a nostalgic and Vente Valentine underneath.
Vente Valentine's got no shot.
Underneath.
But your second horse is the
Shahama.
Okay. And John, I got to get your 4 again after the 7.
Okay, hold on. Let me put my glasses on. Not 7.
Put the binoculars
on.
You're putting the binoculars on.
You're not going with Echo Zulu.
No, I'm going with hidden.
You're not using. Oh no, you're going to use her a little bit.
Yeah, I'm using her for sure underneath. I'm going with Echo Zulu
as your top choice.
I'm sorry. Hidden Connection as my top.
I thought
choice.
I made you a believer for a second.
I was up since 4 in the morning.
Who's your top choice? Oh, the Hidden Connection. Okay, yeah.
Over the 4, 5, 7, 13.
13.
I want to.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys. Lastly, good luck. I know it's it's going to be crazy out there on Saturday, especially. And I just want to applaud you guys, especially Chad, because you've been behind Cyberknife for months, and that prompted Jon to go out and bet all these futures. And everything is working out perfectly at this point. It's not easy to do. We know if anybody thinks it is, they're crazy. I hope the best of luck for you guys that Cyberknife comes in front, because this just doesn't happen very often. So good luck on Saturday.
Think about one thing, Craig. When the year Cyberknife was born, there were like 19,000 other horses born. Only 20 of them
yep,
out of all of them, have made it to Saturday.
And this horse is a 20-1 shot in the morning line. Not a favorite.
It's a lot less than 20-1, believe me. That's a ridiculous morning line. So, but that's another story for another time.
I'll talk to you.
All right.
I'll talk to you on Monday, Chad, after the race, and hopefully it's a celebration.
Oh, it'll be a celebration, all right.
It'll be a celebration. All right, guys.
Take care. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Talk to you soon. Be well. Stay safe.